Hello, y'all. It's 10:10 a.m. So it's the morning, well, of the day. So I just woke up not long ago, about exactly 9:45, and I need more sleep because I went to sleep. Um, I guess it was around 3:30, and didn't get to fall asleep till what felt like 4 o'clock, and I was able to get sleep and. Well, it wasn't 100% straight through, but I was able to get to sleep until 9:45. Excuse me. So I'm still feeling slowed, and I didn't take any medicine. In the hospital last night. I didn't want to, so I was just wanting to make sure I didn't have a heart attack or that I wasn't trying to have one. And so I really I do think it was the energy weapons that was hitting me um in my heart. And so, well, I woke up, and shortly after I woke up and I went to use the bathroom, and I had a very intense headache. It died down some now, but it's now 10:12. And so yeah, I woke up almost a half hour ago, and I had a very intense headache, and now it went down mostly. But I talked on the phone with, I guess I shouldn't be telling too much detail about everything that's going on. But I talked to the legal, I guess it was the legal secretary this morning, not long ago, and she said that I told her, well, I thought that I was told that the lady told me that I didn't really have much of anything to worry about. And and she said, well, this, basically, I guess it's not, the situation is not finished. That's what she told me over the phone. And we had a little more dialogue, and so, and I told her, excuse me, forgive me that I just woke up and I've been suffering sleep deprivation and had to go to the emergency room last night. So forgive me for sounding a little off. And she was like, okay, but you know, I'm glad she seemed calm and normal, and she wasn't all aggressive and hard and mean like a narcissistic abuser, though. The lady on the phone. But then, well, I asked her. I said, I'm feeling like having anxiety about this. I mean, what can I do? I need help. To calm down. Her advice was of just no help. That she said, well, she made it like as if the lady just got, like, as if the attorney, I guess it's a prosecuting attorney, that she just got questions for me. And she's like, oh, just answer the question she asked you. That's all. Like as if it was no big deal. Like she didn't give me any tips on what I can do to calm down. Like, and a narcissistic abuser would be like, that's not her job to calm you down. You know, but I mean, I'm pretty sure many people feel anxiety or something like that. But I mean, I know that that wasn't the reason for my chest pains, because I wasn't even going through this. And I would have moments where I feel the pain that I felt last night, and it wasn't even, you know, I wasn't even, I wouldn't even be in situations like this and still feel this right here. So that's why I feel like, it had to be the director energy weapons doing that. And sometimes with my heart, it will hurt right here, and it will feel, especially when I've been sleep deprived for days, and like 18 days of sleep deprivation. They do that to me. With And so Uh, if the people in the hospital touch my heart right here, like it will hurt and feel very like, and sometimes nobody has to touch it, and it will feel very sore. Um, so I don't even want to, like, I don't know, maybe because it's what I have. I don't even want to eat breakfast this morning. But I know I gotta eat something, but I don't want to eat breakfast. Um, the only fruit I have in there is oranges, and then I have some vegetables too, and I have the oatmeal, um, instant oatmeal, but well, unflavored instant oatmeal. So that's why I didn't want to. I don't know. I just didn't want to eat breakfast this morning, but um, I don't know if I'll just skip breakfast and eat lunch, or if I should just go ahead and eat breakfast. Oh wait, no. I got something I can eat. I have those little granola bites. I can eat those. I forgot I had those. Um, so you know, it's like I know with us being targeted individuals, we gotta take care of our health. Excuse me. We have to take care of our health. But usually it's pretty difficult when your income is low or when your money is low. It seems like there's so-called shielding and protocols. Well, the health protocols as a targeted individual seem like they offer some new age solutions. Not everything is new age solution, but some of it is, especially with the shielding and some of the natural health stuff. But some of the natural health stuff is good advice and it's not new age. So, but it's sometimes, stuff that is difficult for me when I'm homeless on the streets, or, it's difficult for me when I'm homeless on the streets, or, you know, or, the idea of me not having enough money to be able to afford, you know, me having not having enough money to afford, whatever. So, um, I hate when you go to certain websites and you look up natural health and stuff. And I came across a website yesterday that tried to, and I figured they were bullshitting, but they try to say that having smoothies is that you're getting way more than what you actually need, and or in your you know if you have smoothies, then you get way more fruit or vegetables than you need for the day, and that it might cause blood sugar spikes. I'm like, y'all, like, damn, y'all don't want people to get healthy, do y'all? I mean, I don't. I mean, I think that it's okay, if you have um fruit and vegetable mix, and it being like a 32-ounce smoothie. If you have something like that, um, like if you have more vegetable than fruit, but if you have both, and if you have a green smoothie, and if you want to have, like, say, have mixed greens, like, um, stuff on a salad bag, like baby spinach, or um, let me see. I mean, so okay, if you want to have baby lettuce and chard and radicchio and baby spinach and different kinds of lettuces and spinach and uh something like that. Hold on, I'm gonna put this back. It looks like this is kind of frozen somewhat. But you can see I'm trying to want to do better. Trying to better my health. But I know that they weren't gonna make me. I know they weren't gonna let me eat dinner yesterday. You can't. They don't let you eat dinner. Or they don't let you eat before being seen by an emergency room doctor in the hospital, and the doctor has to give you the okay to eat later on. You can, and so sometimes they don't let you eat or drink, even drink water. So um, well, so later on, it seemed like going to a snack machine. Don't judge me, but that was all they have is junk food. You go to the hospital, and they don't have vending machines of fruits and vegetables and organic snacks and stuff like that. But I'm surprised they had almonds and peanuts. That's the only healthy thing they had in the snack machine. But certain drink machines I turn around, there's not even water, but just soda and tea and stuff. So I had a bag of chips and cookies because that was all they had to eat, and I I didn't want to walk down the Whataburger and they give me problems or perk me there. Um, so then I told y'all everything else that happened last night. Yeah, so I thought it was a phone court thing that I had to go through, but it's basically it looked like she was saying it's not really court, but it's just a prosecuting attorney just interviewing me or asking me questions, and I'm still feeling scared and nervous because dealing with anything with the law and the courts, especially if that person is a narcissistic abuser or if they twist your words that you didn't say or anything like that, and then try to talk to you in a way that's condescending and trigger you, um, triggering you. And like the mean, abusive, narcissistic nurse last night, she made it like as if she's talking. She talked to me very rude and vicious, but then when I confronted her about it, talked to me like as if she was. Like, she talked to me like as if she'd been she talked to me like as if she'd been talking to me like in a normal tone. You know, I wonder why is it every hallway that I'm in, there's always a screaming child screaming at the top of their lungs. I even had to deal with that in the other hallway. In the other building, across. I had to deal with that when I was staying here in October and November. So now I'm staying here, and I'm hearing the kids screaming. Um, so yeah, because I never in my life been. I don't recall ever in my life being served a subpoena. Maybe I did with the bully Kim Irons. With when she was bullying me in high school, and then some months later I was already in college, and Kim had Kim. Oh damn! Stop. Um. So the bully Kim Irons had Wow, that loud vehicle, it hurt my ears just now. So the bully Kim Irons I was sometime in college and I was already 18, and we had a court summons. I mean, no, she had a court summons, and me and he had a fake foster mom taking me to court. I mean, why the hell, why couldn't I go to court by myself? Why she had to accompany with me everywhere, even after I turned 18? I mean, her accompanying me to the doctor's fake psychiatry appointments and everything. And then the fact that I'm at least 18 years old and the foster mom, having a say so in my treatment and how to handle me and stuff like that. That's why, and people act like they don't believe me when I say I think she put me in a program and I think she was my handler. Cause no, I mean, and you didn't give birth to me, so I mean, and you treat me like shit, like worse than shit. So I mean, she treated me really bad, very abusive, and the abuse got worse after I turned 18. So I don't even know. Since I had those chocolate chip cookies earlier, I don't even think it would be right. I mean, a good idea. I mean, it was several hours earlier, but I don't think it would be good for me to eat those chocolate chip granola bites, because that would be like eating the cookies again that I ate. Well, no, I think I didn't eat it at 2 something. I ate it at like 11 or 12 something in the middle of the night. I had the chips and cookies, and that was all they had. But I don't know. I guess I'll be all right eating the granola bites. But it's close enough to lunchtime anyway, so I might as well just skip breakfast. Um, so like I don't even feel pain in my heart or my chest right now. If I feel slight pain when I touch on it, but I'm feeling like pressure. But even the way the pain felt, you know, I mean, I don't know, like made me feel like, I mean, and then certain websites say do not, and also I've had admonition from past emergency room doctors, nurses, and stuff to never ignore chest pain. And I Saturday, I mean, I acknowledged it, but I didn't go seek help right away. But I ended up, they didn't even tell me my EKG results or nothing like that yesterday. They didn't tell me, and they took blood from me, but they didn't tell me much of nothing. And I want to say another thing that I forgot to say in my video that I previously uploaded is, guess what? It's true. Excuse me. Well, that doctor that came, it was a nice white female doctor. I'm just saying for description. She came in and she was very nice, and she told me, it seemed like she was trying to convince me I had COVID. Oh, that sounds like symptoms. Both sound just like symptoms of COVID. And I think she was saying that they didn't have a way to treat or test me. I'm like, yay, good. But she talked to me like as if she talked to me in a manner like as if I really wanted, to take get treated for COVID. I'm like, no, not me. So, but she acted like she admonished me strongly and urged me to go and take the COVID test tomorrow, well, which is today. I'm like, I don't need to, so I'm fine. I just need, and I've been, trying to practice eating more fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. And I need to eat more fruits and vegetables, in which I've been, boosting up some, but I need to eat more. But my plan is, if I get to stay here, I didn't want to be too expensive with it, but I wanted to buy a blender. I can't afford a juicer. I can't afford a Vitamix. But I wanted to buy a blender and yeah, I wanted to buy a blender and a toaster oven so I wouldn't have to use the microwave. And then, the day before checking out the hotel or something, I can just bring out my stuff to the storage unit, you know. But I don't know how much a Ninja is because a Ninja, they say that if you blend fruits and vegetables, you can keep it will keep all the nutrients. You can keep all the nutrients, in the smoothie that you make. So that's why and with the smoothie you can retain the fiber as well in your fruit and vegetable smoothies. And well, they try to scare you like by trying to say that smoothies is not a good idea. Well, I'm like, well, maybe store-bought smoothies, but if you, the fake Everman place downtown, all those natural health juice bars and smoothie bars, um, when you go to any juice or smoothie bar, it's usually, you know, if you go to a smoothie bar, it's usually just fruits and vegetables. Or if you want to like add stevia or something like that, sometimes you can add it. But well, yeah, in the middle of the night when I was at the hospital, there was a person who said that a targeted individual should cut out sugar, and they had a targeted lady on the man's YouTube, the comment on his one of his videos, and she said, "Well, I have stevia," and she said that she's quit using sugar and that she used stevia, and she said that every time she try to buy stevia, and then the perps steal her stevia. I'm like, well, damn, So I'm like, well, if the perps want you on sugar and stuff so bad, the narcissistic foster mom and foster family, they would get on my case heavy and try to bully, harass, and lecture me about eating so much sugar, but yet they force me to see a psychiatrist and take medications that make you crave sugar and sweets and, everything that's not good for you. And I honestly believe that if I was still on those psych medications, and I didn't know the truth, I didn't wake up and stuff, I would have been dead. I think I would have been dead. And the foster mom and other narcissistic abusers, even people in Los Angeles, which, the next door neighbor who reminded me of the foster mom, and that Lisa Ruby lady acting like they're wishing diabetes on me, And it's like, I'm not much, well, at least I don't think I'm a glutton anymore. But I still eat 3 meals a day. But some other parts of the world see that as gluttony. But I see some narcissistic abusers, not everybody who eats. I'm not trying to say that everybody who eats 1 meal a day is a narcissistic abuser. But a lot of people eat 1 meal a day, but that's not what I'm saying. But certain, narcissistic abusers, they self-righteous, like that Lisa Ruby lady self-righteously starve herself in the name of fasting. And I don't even know if that might have been why she would, be moody and irritable towards me, because any deprivation, you get moody and irritable and stuff, food deprivation, sleep deprivation, water deprivation, deprived air, anything. So, and you end up being snappy, and people will think you're crazy, but you're really not. You just need sleep, or you just need food or something like that. But I know people must fast for, Christian reasons, or some people, excuse me, sorry. But I heard even some Muslims fast and certain other religions, and they fast and they pray to their false gods. even Hindu, whatever. So, um, you know, it was in 2011 when I first heard that Christians fast, and I'm like, well, I didn't know Christians fast. And that narcissistic lady, that Dionne Crawford lady in Long Beach, that she was, the biggest ass kisser of that Pam lady that worked with the Victor guy. Um, the Dionne Crawford lady, she's like, you wouldn't know because you're not a Christian. And that's the weird ass lady. I used to call her Special Worker because I'm like, nobody's a dork anymore. But she acted like a female dork and reminded me of Steve Urkel. She was weird, but she thinks that being a true Christian means to shout out and root for Tim Tebow to win every Sunday for football. You ain't gonna be a real Christian and be a NFL, Tim Tebow. So because God doesn't approve of football. So it's like, wow, yeah. So I mean, well, I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad that you know, I don't know. I shouldn't feel nervous, but I'm still feeling nervous. You know, about this afternoon, and I'm kind of disappointed that I had to cancel my job interview at the for the phone company. I'm, I mean, and that's what I mean, I thought that on my own first, and then another targeted friend had told me, and I'm like, well, wow, we think so much similar that the perps probably did that on purpose to prevent me from going on that job interview, and for me to trying to get a job caused me chest pains and caused me to have to cancel the interview. So that's another reason why I felt like that could have been directed energy weapons, you know, because they'll cause your organs to swell, like by vibrating and heating your organs and microwaving you. So I mean, that's why in 2017 that I think he was a doctor that told me that my heart was slightly larger than normal, and that was scary for me because I mean, they said I had heart murmur when I was 2 years old, and they said I had such a bad ear infection when I was 2 years old that I nearly died, and they thought I was deaf. And they said that was one of the reasons why I had delayed speech and speech problems. So, but the foster mom used that to justify trying to punish me from swimming, doing what makes me happy and doing what I like. And the same people who want to stop you from doing what make you happy is the main people who you know they want to try to stop you from being happy, but at the same time they say that they avoid you because you're too negative and miserable. But I'm sitting here looking like Daphne from last night. I know she's younger than me, and it's like this bitch act like she thinks she got the authority to be a damn cab driver. Well, her narcissistic ass, you know. So, because with the money I have right now, um, with the money I have right now, I mean, I could go and apply to be a cab driver and, be set and be good. But the problem is, um, I would have just enough to get to start probably, but then we'll have to maybe sleep back on the streets and be, but so, I mean, it's like I mean, I felt kind of. I mean, I tried to not feel bitter because if I felt bitter enough, I wouldn't even call Z Trip. Um, you know, so that guy who's the manager or the owner or something. I don't think he's the owner, but he's the manager. And and he made it like it. I mean, he acted like he didn't want me to drive for them, and he acted like he didn't want to help me when I tried to ask him questions on where do I go if I'm here in Pensacola, where do I go to get a lifetime driving report. I mean, a driving record or something. That's what they wanted, and so I haven't done much recent driving, but I don't even think you have to have any years of experience. You just gotta know how to drive and know the area. But I don't think that would be a good fit for me anyway because um, it's like I mean I don't know. I thought you just as a cab driver you just drive and collect money and stuff like that. But no, you gotta but with Z Trip you can keep the vehicle as long as I mean, but I think Lucky Cab, I think you have to turn that cab back in every night. But I could be wrong. Um, or you can keep the same vehicle. I don't know. But like when I was in New Orleans on the West Bank cab or Marrero cab, they would I heard that they had to pay on the car, but they had to turn the car back in the middle of the night or before the day is out. But Glenn's cab that I work for, you can keep the cab, um, as long as you're paying on it. And it's like you have to dish out like $400 a week. But Z Trip swear up and down that you'll be making a lot of money. But even here in Pensacola, they say that it's driving for Z Trip that is very slow. But the man because they have Z Trip in Mobile, Alabama, and one of the drivers he told me that they needed people really bad, and that they got a lot of people here in Pensacola. I mean, I thought Mobile would have been bigger than Pensacola, Florida, because Pensacola, Florida is not a major Florida city, but Mobile, Alabama is a major city in Alabama. So I don't know why there's more business here in Pensacola than there is in Mobile, Alabama. But that man, he said that they need people really bad in Mobile, Alabama. He told me that over the summer. So and a lot of people who drive for Z Trip here, a lot of them get recently hired left and right, and they be new, and they say they like it. And a couple of them have gave me encouragement to go do it, but I'm scared. I know how to drive. I mean, do I need to show y'all my license? But it's not just a state ID; it's a Florida state license. So um, I'm just scared because of my sleep deprivation. And narcissistic abusers falsely accuse me of wanting to drive sleep deprived, and I don't want to drive sleep deprived. I wish that the perps stop sleep depriving me or whatever energy weapons or anything so that I can not only just drive but be other kinds of functional as well. Because me being sleep deprived, I can't even cook without feeling scared of myself or scared of what I might do, nearly choking on food and swallowing certain pieces of food whole and nearly choking, being sleep deprived. And they compare sleep deprivation to drunkenness. So I didn't even realize it. I didn't know or realize it was that dangerous. Because I'm pretty sure when I used to have my Hyundai Elantra in 2005 and 2006, I'm pretty sure I had some sleepless nights and went and go drive somewhere and I was fine. But I don't recall ever being affected like that. And I was on those psychiatric medications too. I'm not on the medicines right now. And, they want to keep you medicated so that you wouldn't be quote unquote mentally functional to, you know, because, they try to say that the medication will make you drowsy, so it'd be dangerous to operate machinery and drive and whatever, you know. And the police officer, the abusive police officer in 2005, um, he threatened to arrest me, trying to say, do I need to take you to jail for being under the influence? That was in Milwaukee. But I'm like, wait a minute. I thought under the influence mean under the influence of, because I wasn't under influence. I was driving every day and, but forced to take those psych medications. So that's one of the, as I said, one of the main, I just wish there was a permanent solution for my sleep deprivation where I can, without any extra supplements. I mean, if there's a way I can tweak my diet a certain way, because I heard that a certain natural health diet would help take away the nanotechnology or whatever that they're doing, whatever they're putting in our bodies or anything. And I'm not that skilled in, being able to tell if I eat a certain food and be like, well, this is tainted, because other targets, they can tell when something is tainted. Now, I can't tell when something is, I mean, unless it has a whole different weird ass taste or noticeably different taste or something. But I really can't tell, so I don't even know. I mean, I don't know, but it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm just feeling bad thinking about. I mean, last night I was deleting certain files off of my Google Drive and stuff, and I came across it was during the time when my twin sister was, mad at me. She's still mad at me, but back in October, she's like, oh, she can't even stay on topic and stuff like that. But I'm sleep deprived, so I'm sorry if I sound like I'm going around in circles or anything like that. The freaking abuse and the targeting and abuse got me sounding quote unquote incoherent like this, you know. And so I'm just speaking off the top of my head as thoughts come to mind. So just like there are some people who say they're Christians and they can say that they can look and tell whether or not somebody has light in their eyes, or they can tell if somebody's eyes look dead. And I don't have that skill or that gift to get to look in people's eyes and tell if that person is a psychopath or a sociopath or has dead eyes, or if their light in their eyes is gone. And I wish I could, because I could avoid many people. I would, I would be able to avoid many people, but all I know is how they act towards me, and how the hell a person with no conscience or zero conscience, can try to tell me what to do and condemn me and nag my conscience and make me feel like the worst failure in the world, or like they have the authority to judge and condemn me. But behind closed doors, I mean, they have a perfect front and a perfect image, squeaky clean image, but behind closed doors, they are the worst vile devil. So, yeah, I mean, because the thought just came in my head, I'm not just going bouncing around on purpose, but a thought just came into my head to, like for me to talk about, go back to talking about the cab thing. When I tried twice and the owners let me drive, when I was in New Orleans, the Brittany girl and the Glenn man, so when they, let me drive for them, but it seemed like as if I mean, nobody wanted to help me when they gave me the perps gave me the perp cab drivers or the cab mechanics gave me a messed up car, and then nobody wanted to help me. And when I drove for Glenn's cab and they gave me a flat tire, I think it was the midget was the only one. Oh, and I had like how the hell driving a cab 4 times and then like I have to pay $400 a week on this raggedy ass broke down car. I mean, I might as well get my own car, you know, and for something like that. I might as well. Well, but I mean, by me being homeless, I can't even finance a car. Um, I would for me to. I mean, I don't have enough money to outright buy my own vehicle, even if it's a used car, because you can't buy a car with $13,000 nowadays. You can't. I mean, at least, I mean, you can only like for that. I mean, I remember it's like gone are the days when you can get a good running car for $500. Because if I would go to a car auction and get a car for $1,000, it's not guaranteed to work. And a car at I mean, and you know, $3 more $100. That's not enough for the to get the car registered and get insured and all that either. And I heard that being homeless is difficult to if you're homeless, I heard it's difficult to get a you know get insurance on it. Like insurance companies won't take you if you're homeless. But I've heard stories about people being homeless and stuff. But I knew of a man, he was street homeless and he got him a car. That was the man that was he was from New Orleans, West Bank, but he ended up being friends with Alex and Alex was riding in his car and stuff. So um but damn, that man, his name was Mr. Diamond, and he was an alcoholic, and he was in the military, but he a couple of times he perked me while he was drunk, but most of the time he's sensible, and be looking out for me and like an uncle to me, pretty much. The uncle, like, he was like an uncle to me, but you know, he went to jail for being drunk, and then that was like shortly before I got banned from that same Whataburger downtown, and Mr. Diamond got arrested and went to jail, and he looked at me and he said, "I'm a criminal." I said, "No, you're not. You're gonna be all right." So he was in jail for a couple of months, and then cause he was drunk, and he came to Whataburger. Him and he had a white friend with him, and he was drunk, and so they had left that car for days there. But he was able to get his car back after he got out of jail. And me and this targeted friend that turned out to be a fake TI perp, me and her were talking on the phone, and like I said, I haven't seen Mr. Diamond like in a long time, cause uh I think that he had already gotten out of jail, and me and him were talking on I mean, in person while I was on the phone with this same lady one Sunday, and I think I was on my way to the beach, or no, I wasn't going to the beach. I probably was walking on my way to that long walk to Publix, and so he he got out of jail, and me and him were talking, and he said, "Yeah, and they target us because we're," and I don't remember what else he said, but I think he was trying to say they target us because we're homeless and stuff like that, So then I've seen him a couple of times maybe, and I haven't seen him for a while. And then I was talking about how I haven't seen him in a while, and because I said how I told her about how she was saying that he was the one that told me that that guy's name was Alex, because like Alex was, I physically saw with my own eyes Alex going to recruit people and recruit other homeless people to perp me. And Alex even admitted that he tells people, what cruel things to do to me, you know. So, well, that was when he tried to be fake nice online. And I didn't know. Like, why you trying to make me, you trying to turn me to a perp and try to make me flip after all the stuff you did to me? Why the hell would I trust you ever? I mean, I never had a reason to trust you in the first place, but why would I trust you now? So, Alex himself was trying to get me to flip and become a perp and a prostitute. Like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I cannot become a perp. I cannot be a prostitute. But, I know I have to remember that vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I mean, so, well, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. So, I mean, shucks. I don't want to be a gang stalker. But if I had to gang stalk anybody, I would rather the gang stalk the perps right back. Because but I'm not going to do that either. But I don't believe in, go around perping innocent people who've done me nothing. And plus, I know what I went through. So why would I go and perp somebody else? I can't do it. And especially, I know how it feels to be falsely accused and to be persecuted and abused. So I just can't bring myself and go do that to other people for any amount of money in the world. Because as I said, I know that the dollar system that we've been warned. Well, I mean, I know I had, been on to my research and been warned, for quite a few years about the economic collapse and the crash of the dollar. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. That came out of nowhere, uncontrollable. So, So yeah, I was talking on the phone with that supposed targeting lady. Oh, excuse me. And then because I after dealing, like, he told me, yeah, his name is Alex. That's exactly how they said. I mean, I'm not trying to mock or make fun. I'm just demonstrating exactly how he said. Yeah, because his name is Alex. That's exactly how you talk. And he's like, yeah, Alex. And I'm like, oh, wow. So I didn't know his name was Alex, but then one of the bus drivers said his name was Ellis. And I'm like, what is his name? Alex or Ellis? So kind of find out his name is Alex Dupree because he showed himself online, And I'm like, how the hell did you find, who the hell gave you my access to my YouTube? But Alex never tried to call my phone or nothing like that. But he had access to YouTube, my YouTube and my blog before I got on social media. Well, I don't consider YouTube that much social media, but some people do. But I guess YouTube is social media. But it's like, I mean, because I was trying to figure stuff out, and then when I was talking to the lady about Mr. Diamond, and I said, well, I haven't seen him in a long time, because I was saying that he was the one that told me that, that guy's name was Alex. And so Mr. Diamond, shortly after I said I ain't seen that man in a long time, and then next he just popped out of nowhere and wearing a red shirt and being like extra friendly. And she's like, now, Candy, what are the odds of that? That you just mentioned you ain't seen him in a long time, and then he pops up right by you a couple of minutes later wearing a red shirt. And I'm like, well, if he's fucking with Alex, I don't even know if they try to make him take a deal while he was in jail after being drunk, going to jail for being drunk. And he was in the military as well. And he used to always be, sensible and nice, but I saw him drunk a few times, So, but he lied to me and said, oh, I stopped drinking back in the 90s. Motherfucker, you still drink. So, it's like, yeah, I don't know if, I mean, this is my therapy right here. For me to just vent and just talk about, I mean, yeah, I'm venting to YouTube. The whole world ain't watching my channel anyway. So whoever, I see a lot of, well, some of my subscribers who comment and stuff, some of them say that they're not targeted, but they're loyal subscribers. Thank you for being supportive. Because sometimes you don't know what targeting is like until you got to go through it, and it's true persecution. Um, and some people try to make like as if my targeting is not that bad, or I create the problems for myself. I mean, see how when I put that man on film in the hospital last night, whatever officer, I don't think he was a cop, and I don't know if he looked different because they had the other police officer, a tall black guy, and that, I mean, I'm sorry, not police officer, the security guard, the tall black security guard, he was nice and stuff. But I should have. I was all mad and going off. I mean, I wasn't going off inside, but that was after I stepped outside, and I was a little bit frustrated. So, but he was nice. I should have apologized to him. Wasn't rude at him directly, but I was just talking, angry, but not directed at him. Just venting to him about what they did. And I said, well, I'm gonna just stand out here in the cold. My cab is supposed to come anyway. And so, I'm about to take a shower after I'm done this video. Well, I probably should eat lunch first and then take the shower. So, I guess I can't be, well, I seldom drink this much anymore anyway. I can't have hot cocoa much anymore. But as I said, I seldom drink hot cocoa that much. Occasionally, every once in a big blue moon. And yeah, I drink hot cocoa in the summer. So let's see. But I don't even drink hot cocoa that much anymore. But I still love it, and I'm not addicted to it. But every now and then I have, hot cocoa. But I've been trying to be very careful with my health, trying to, and not being reckless and just eating anything like I used to in the past. And I didn't realize that gluttony was a serious sin. But I heard that cults can make you have eating disorders, cults and narcissistic abuse. And they say that narcissistic abuse is, like a one-on-one cult. And that's why the narcissistic abuser, the chief narc in your life, they say is your handler. Ain't nobody handling me no more. Ow, this hurts. They made it hurt right here. Right after I said ain't nobody handling me no more, they made it hurt right here. So that's how I know it's the energy weapons. But if they attack your heart with the energy weapons to try to force you to be quiet or try to make you shut up, especially in your heart, and then try to make you fearful of speaking out and make you fearful of talking about what's truly going on. But I don't want to flip, and I'm not going to flip. And because I've seen the fake T.I. perps, they falsely accuse me of being fake. And why the hell? I mean, it seems like the so-called community is a whole bunch of narcissistic sellouts, and they already got their fame and semi-fame and popularity. So they got their semi-fame, and the reason why I say semi-fame because they're not whore Beyonce kind of famous, but they got somewhat fame, fame in the TI community, excuse me, because I can see somebody like last night. I think I came across somebody with 50 something subscribers or 180 something subscribers, and they will have like, you know, 200 likes on and no dislikes, no thumbs down on their YouTube videos. And it's like, I know how hated I am. And then, this targeted person I recently started to talk to, she feels like as if real TIs aren't that they're not on, all the real ones aren't on social media and they're not doing YouTube videos. But if you show them what you're going through, and then you stop making videos, or people, if you keep your videos up and you stop doing videos, people will think you they get worried and wonder, if you died or what happened to you, or if you just disappeared, and they panic. But if you take down all your videos and then just start doing this whatever so-called you can be a fake motivational speaker, a fake rapper. I mean, take down all your targeting videos, and then next, you're just doing this fake music. Like the guy who calls himself King Justice, or he used to call himself Justice T.I., and he still talked like he's targeted, but he deleted all his targeted individual videos, I remember, and now his channel is just like whatever fake Christian rap, while he's tatted from head to toe, looking like a satanic thug. And so I'm like, oh, but you call me fake? So, it's like only the fake TI perps pretend to be targeted, and they got videos up where they're so-called gang stalking, but they hypocritically come and tell me, take down all your videos because you're making yourself look crazy, or you're making all of us look crazy. Some people say it's the way I present myself that make me look crazy, but maybe y'all grew up normal. Y'all didn't grow up in foster care plus a cult. Y'all had that normal upbringing. Y'all can have houses and cars. Y'all not going to be 37 years old and be bossed around by 10-year-old children and have to do what they tell you to do. Y'all not living what I have to live. But I know people are going through worse persecution and stuff. But it's insane that my basic right to drive a car is being blocked by people who do not have that authority. Or situations are set up and manipulated so where that I can't have my own freedom and independence. And, me being college educated, and people treat me like I'm the dumbest fool, like as if I don't even, like, say the job interview I was going to go to, if I get treated, if not by the manager or the boss, if I get treated by coworkers like as if I'm dumb as fuck and don't know what the hell I'm doing, and so therefore need to be controlled and bossed around and told what to do by somebody that's freaking 19 and I'm 37. Bitch, I'm old enough to be your parent, slut. I'm old enough to be your mom, so you shut the fuck up. You do not have authority over me, and I'm old enough to be your parent. And I could have had kids I could have had kids older than you. And people don't ignore me and don't see it as a big deal for me to it hurts me deeply. It hurts me great, the idea. And there's a perp that keep passing by back and forth, eavesdropping. It hurts me deeply. There are some things that really bother me that people think is childish or is petty, or is, why are you worried about that? Because you ain't going through it. So people don't take my cries for help, or cries for an open ear, cries for some comforting words or support. People take it lightly, or they don't care. But somebody who's persecuting and perping me, they run to their defense and support right away, and it'd be like thousands of them. So, I mean, if people talk like, "Oh, you're telling all your business on YouTube," they have other people, even other black people, they can come out and, um, and tell about, I think it was a black female that recently came out. I mean, well, she didn't recently talk about it, I don't think, but I recently, a couple of days ago, stumbled upon a video that she did, and I think that video got like 124,000 views. I'm like, whoa, her talking about. I think she was talking about her story of being, abused by a family member. I don't want to go into detail. So, and then a lot of people were giving her a lot of support and encouragement and stuff like that. But, I get more hate and ignoring than I get support. And me being, I mean, I believe I was targeted, since before graduating high school. That um, the extra yearbook pictures that I submitted, they made sure to deliberately exclude me from, extracurricular activities, pictures of those in the high school yearbook. And it's like, even in high school, it seemed like everybody wanted me dead, gone. Like as if I committed blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, or like as if I committed blasphemy against the whole world. Like everybody wanted me to just fuck off and just die now. Die right now, ho. It's like they're kind of, everybody wanted me destroyed. And they used to perp and bully me even in high school. And some of the same people who used to perp and bully me in junior high and high school are the same people who, I haven't come across all of them, but, perping me, if I'm in New Orleans and they see me in person and they chuckle and laugh and pretend like they never knew who I was and stuff like that, or they act like as if they see me every day and like as if it's no big deal that they haven't seen me since junior high or high school. But if they see a friend that they haven't, a new friend that they haven't seen in a month, they'll see them and jump out. Hey, girl, it's been so long, and how you doing? It's good to see. Like, and my own family don't even do that to me. Like, even family members who haven't contacted me at all in 10 years, and then they see me, and then it's like they see me every day. Like, oh, I just saw you yesterday, kind of attitude. But they didn't say that. But it's like their attitude of, they have an attitude like I just saw you yesterday, or like we lived together, But they don't. They do that to other family members or other friends and stuff. But I'm the only singled out family member who get treated like, like my cousin Whore Rebecca. When I ain't seen her, and like it was 2010, I haven't seen her since before Katrina, and then she sat down on a Ramona's porch and was like, "Hey, Candy," like just like that, like no hug, like no nothing, like oh just hey, Candy, like you see like you just saw me yesterday or something, and even Hellface up my mom like, "Hey, Candy." Just like that. Not because that's how she talk like that. And, but my cousin Blake, the one who died, he even was like, I haven't contacted him in 10 years. And, his response was like that, So then, when he told me, you don't want it, what make you think things going to change? Don't come back down here no more. And he said, let me tell you something. Ramona is a very evil witch. So, he gave me his phone number, and I was scared to call him, or because it's like he might have been the type of person, if I call him and then he might cuss me out for quote unquote talking bullshit or talking crazy, even your own family members refuse to be supportive of you. Dealing with this targeting and gang stalking, or dealing with any trauma or abuse, they don't want to hear nothing like that, because they're living their positive lifestyle of going to the movies and going to Disney World and Disneyland. and going to Halloween parties, dressing like sluts every year for Halloween and stuff. But we deserve to get raped, and I'm freaking wearing, you know, uh, sweatpants. That's me wearing loose sweatpants. So I dress like this just about every day. T-shirt and pants or shorts or something. But there was a point in time when I was trying to strive hard to be a dedicated Christian, and it seemed like Lisa Ruby and Tracy Broadhurst nearly succeeded at killing that. Let me see who that is. Oh, so I don't know why I should just. I mean, I get condemned for not being normal. I get condemned for not being normal, but then I get shunned. I get shunned and condemned for not being normal, but then at the same time, when I try to do normal things that people do, I get blocked from doing it. Society feels like being homeless is not normal. They feel like staying in hotels is not normal. Eating out every day. Well, I'm not doing that now because I'm in a hotel, but when I was on the streets, eating out every day, at whatever cafes and restaurants is not normal. But some rich people do it, but or they feel like bouncing around from state to state with no friends or family. It's not normal. Being hypersensitive and easily irritated and can't help it, it's not normal. So, you hear that kid again? But why? How the hell are they in this hallway? Every I mean, so I was in 300 building, and they were the kid was I don't even know if that same child transferred to over here. But some people be like, well, not here, but I think some people might be like, maybe that child is autistic or something like that, but I don't know, because when I'm not talking on the phone with a targeted friend, or when I'm not doing videos, that child ain't screaming. So, um, I heard stories. I heard stories about how like that the Alicia person who disappeared. She told me that she told me that the Alicia person who disappeared. She told me that she told me that they were training her 3-year-old nephew to perp her. That he was being 3 years old, and that her older sister was training her nephew. Well, the sister was training her own son to perp Alicia. So I guess they try to get you to start perping as soon as you can. Wow. Oh, as soon as you can I mean, they'll start training you to perp people as soon as you can walk and talk in these Masonic I mean, I don't know. I don't know much. I still got a lot to learn too. But it seems like people who talk like they got expert knowledge, they be like control opposition insiders. Like they talk like Miss Lisa herself, Lisa Ruby, talk like as if she had inside knowledge of whatever this program or the free. I mean, so I'm still, it's been a few years, but I'm still trying to climb back on my feet with I'm still trying to climb back on my feet spiritually, trying to get closer to God and praying more and reading the Bible more. And so I'm still feeling like I'm running away from the idea of fasting because I'm still feeling traumatized. Um, and then I feel like I can't fast when I'm homeless on the streets. I have to have a guaranteed roof over my head, um, and be just, be comfortable as I can, because that ain't comfortable. Denying your flesh and deny yourself, take up your cross and follow Jesus. And so, um, I, like even recently, you know, I guess I've had moments here and there that I would purposely, not eat lunch or purposely skip breakfast or something, you know. But I'm not eating the idea of me not eating breakfast this morning. I'm not doing it for fasting purposes. Well, they say that if you fast, you have to be quiet about it. The Bible says that, and you can't, you can't let people know that. You can't let other people know that you're doing it. You just do it in secret, and you pray in secret. And so, and then if you serve God in private, with fasting and praying, and then He will reward you openly. But I heard that some people have like communal fasting. I guess you call it communal, when the whole group of people agree to fast together and stuff. But Miss Lisa Ruby played a whole game with manipulating and starving me, and then being super spiritually abusive towards me. And she hasn't had not one person who she successfully delivered. I mean, every person who she delivered, who she claimed she did deliverance on, they all broke free and ran away from her. But I question what she did that Brandy person and her son Brandon from Easley, South Carolina. I question. And she told me like Brandy went into hiding. And I think she tried to say Brandy went into hiding. It was a different Brandy, not my twin sister, a different Brandy and her son Brandon that she claimed she did deliverance on. And she said Brandy and her son. Well, if she went into hiding, what happened to her son? Because she tried to say that Brandy went into hiding and changed her identity. But if Miss Lisa and her husband Gary Ruby, they are closet Satanists, and you know, I don't know, because like those those deliverance ministries. I never. I mean, the idea that she said, "Don't tell anybody about my website, and don't tell everybody that I'm delivering you, because they're gonna think we're crazy or whatever." I'm like, well, if you're a real Christian, why the hell would you be ashamed? Because she said that she says certain things at the church or the coffee spot in South Carolina, and that they think she's crazy, or that they look. I mean, they look at her crazy. And they used to have this one lady at that coffee spot. She was, elderly white lady, and she looked like she had something mixed in her, because she had like an olive complexion, and curlier hair. And it seemed like she used to ask me, a lot of personal questions, and I felt bad, to tell her lies and stuff, if she asked me like all kinds of personal questions and stuff. But I remember she gave me her phone number or email or something, and I don't even remember her name, but I don't even like I don't like I don't even remember her name. But if I it'll be something if I stumbled upon her email. If her name wasn't Patricia, then I don't remember what her name was. But I wonder, what if I would I mean, if I would have, I'm not going to, but I'm just saying, what if I would have found her email and contacted her and told her everything I went through with that Lisa Rubian lady. Um, and shucks, I might be surprised at what she might tell me, because Miss Lisa telling me that my family wanted me isolated, but Miss Lisa wanted me isolated as well. um, and she was talking about my family caging me, or seeming like them trying to isolate me from everybody so that nobody would care if I'd be sacrificed. You know, and Miss Lisa herself, everything she said my family was trying to do to me, she was trying to do to me herself. So I'm glad God brought me out of that situation, and I hope He's, punishing and I hope He's punishing her, for hurting God's people and causing them to nearly turn away, you know. But I'm still here and still believing in God, still believing in Jesus, and still, it's like my faith. I'm trying to rebuild my faith back up after being backslidden, and it's very hard because I went back into listening to secular music, but I did good because I haven't much listened to secular music for over a month, a little over a month. And so, I mean, I would like to get back into listening to my Christian music at least, because that was all I was strictly listening to for, the past few years. And then in 2019, I, you know, I stumbled back and got back into listening to secular music, because there was a point in time when I would feel an aversion to any secular music that I heard, and not trying to be self-righteous or holier than thou, but then I ended up just willfully listening to secular music and collecting secular music and listening to it and stuff. I mean, old 90s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s music. Because I vomit, not physically, but I mentally vomit every time I hear whatever artist out is today, what they call the new age mumble rap or something like that. I cannot stand it. But after 2005, I feel like R&B music went downhill. True, real R&B. And the real R&B that I heard was people like Keisha Cole, in my opinion. So in 2007, people like Jagged Edge made an album, and people say it flopped, but I liked at least about 3 or 4 songs on that album. um, so I mean, Genuine wasn't even making good music. Like in 2010, I think I heard an album of his, and I'm like, don't like it. So, well, I guess, some people say Chris Brown made some good R&B as well, but nowadays you can't even call somebody a true R&B singer, because they still had that, like, singers and rappers sounding like, you can't tell whether somebody's singing or rapping nowadays. It just sucks. And everybody's doing that strange ass style, like the so-called new normal of music. I don't like it. I don't like it. So throughout the summer of last year, I was discovering 90s songs that were new to me. Even earlier this year, some 90s songs that was new to me, that I'm like, well, wow. You know, songs that were new to me, that and I listened to it like it was brand new, listening to it a lot and stuff. So, you know, it was a big stronghold over me. Excuse me. And it was a big stronghold over me, and I had to just break away from it. And throughout all that, listen to all that music, I still seldom listen to who I thought was, my favorite, Aaliyah. Um, I seldom listen to her music. And after hearing about some, I mean, I never sat down and watched any of the episodes, but after hearing about the survivor R. Kelly, I felt like it was difficult for me to bring myself to listen to any music from that album. And the fans were like, that's the only album that's out, and the other albums, the fans wanted, it's on YouTube. They have her albums and her songs on the second and third album. They have them on YouTube, so where people can listen for free. But Aaliyah is deceased, so she can't make any money. You know, so they're fighting tooth and nail. They want to keep her legacy alive. They want her music on Spotify, and the fans are just dying for her music and stuff. And say that that her uncle Barry Hankerson needs to go ahead and release her catalog. But I didn't know what was going on. And back in 2010, her brother Rashad called everybody evil on Twitter because Rashad is just straight getting mad at people for supporting people wanting to do that movie of hers. But it's like Rashad didn't tell. I mean, the non-disclosure agreement. He couldn't, but he would take his frustration and anger out on Aaliyah's fans, and he would take his anger out on the fans, and having people nearly suicidal, depressed, and stuff after them being shocked at the way how harsh the way he treated them, especially the females. So I mean, he really was very, brutal towards females in a way that I couldn't even comprehend. I mean, your sister was a female, your mama's boy, your mom was a woman. So, why the hell you feel the need to just, act like you want females to disappear? But then again, I heard him being gay for many years. But then I heard about him being sexually perverted and showing his pictures of his what to 13-year-old girls. I heard about that. So I'm like, well, he's just as bad as R. Kelly. So, yeah, I was really shocked. And I did a video on my first Psych World channel. I did a video, talking about him in his own Twitter called Art Eternal. And it seemed like as if you had to be specially privileged to agree with everything he does and says. You can't challenge him or nothing like that. Or you're forbidden to ask any questions about Aaliyah. And it seemed like only the fans who he feels like deserve it. And there's like their cult, it's like an elitist hierarchy. And the so-called Aaliyah's fans thought that they were better than you because Rashad was following them on Twitter. And so Rashad was following me for a short period of time, but I never once thought I was the shit or thought I was better. He followed me for I don't remember if it was 2 weeks or 2 months. I think it was 2 weeks. I don't remember if it was 2 weeks or 2 months that he was following me on Twitter. And so I had a nightmare about him the night before, and then I went to sleep, and I woke up the next morning and I was unfollowed. And I'm wondering, what could I have said wrong if he was off of Twitter for a couple of days or for a little while, and then he come back on. And I'm trying to reason with myself, like, what did I do or what did I say? Why did he unfollow me? But I didn't know about the Illuminati or any of that, and me going into a depression and feeling all bad because what he did, and other celebrities treating me mean. And some celebrities, they're self-righteous and put on that Christian front like they will unfollow you or block you on Twitter because you tweet out a curse word in your tweet. But you're a hypocrite by having devil horns hand sign in your TwitCon or one eye symbolism. Like you have your eye like this, or you have something dangling over your eye, or you have your hands like this, something like that. And then you're gonna tell me about cursing? Hell no. And people don't call the celebrity, hey, you a hypocrite. Why you unfollow or block people, and paying homage, paying homage to Satan, you know, with but they want to be tweeting Bible scriptures and talking about love and positive, talking about God and positivity, and tweeting about love and the love of God and all this, but I really hate those false Christians who try to make like everything is good and happy. But, good and happy is not promised to all of us because of sin in the world. So some people making like all you got to do is turn to Jesus and, you'll stop suffering, which is not true. You'll go through more persecution, but it'll make you spiritually stronger. And if you endure and, dealing with it without giving up until the day God is ready to take you home, if you deny yourself, take up your cross and follow Jesus, then, then you'll have your reward in heaven. But, especially nowadays, we're in evil times. So if you're doing, satanic rituals, don't tell me about bad behavior. And don't be holier than thou and self-righteous. Oh, you better make sure you're wearing a mask and this and that, whatever. While you're doing satanic rituals and raping babies and it's all hushed and quiet. You can't do that. But you want to be self-righteous about the Bible. Be self-righteous about this mask thing, or, enforcing wearing a mask. But at the same time, you break God's law, when you want to cheat people out of their food and try to be self-righteous. Well, ma'am, it's standard portioning size. When you have, y'all know how they do, about half right here being filled up. That's not standard portion size. They're cheating me. So if they want to try to rationalize and justify cheating and scamming me when everybody else get a full cup, I've watched it. I've seen it. So just like all those, like, you want to force a mask on me. Like last night, I just felt robbed and violated, by a self-righteous gay white fag, forcing me against my will to wear a mask. And then I look at all these nurses who either have their mask down or have no mask at all, and having me fearful that if I take my mask off or if I take it down, then, I would go to jail or something, So I wish I could take that back, because I didn't want to wear the doggone mask last night, especially when, that man still, and that nurse hurried up and ran to the back, and I think she ducked, or she hurried up and disappeared. When y'all saw that, and I didn't realize till after I did the video. At the very beginning of the video, it was a very short video, like under 30 seconds, and she, I guess, but y'all saw it. But that's like the Spanish girl at the Dunkin' Donuts that they forced me to wear a mask, and that Spanish girl, she kept taking her mask on and off. And if you keep doing that, aren't you, if this virus is real, aren't you making things worse? That you keep taking it on and off, and the white guy in the back is wearing a pink mask, that he wearing it below his chin and stuff like that. And then, so I figured that was, and I'm like, I got y'all hypocrisy on camera. And then that same girl was wearing, the same Hispanic girl was wearing no mask yesterday and was nice and normal to me. Like, what the fuck is that? And so I got like at least 8 thumbs down, um, you know, on that video from election day. So I'm like, why are y'all giving me thumbs down? And then they try to justify hypocrisy and self-righteousness. I mean, that's like narcissistic abusers tell me I have no business driving a car, but your ass driving a freaking Jaguar or a Volvo, but I'm not allowed to drive not even a busted up scraggly cab. You try to distort and stop that too. You have the cab break down every time, or you and I think that narcissistic cab driver, that crazy Will guy for Glenn's cab, his name was William, and they call him Will. And he was only 6 years older than me, but he was definitely, and he was the guy who trained me. He was definitely a narcissistic abuser. Definitely. So, and, I mean, at least I'm glad he looked out for me enough that he allowed me, I mean, he encouraged them to have me sleep on the cab, the cab office, the cab company office, like he the one told me to sleep there and then condemned me the next day and said, yeah, and there cameras right by you and stuff like that, and there's cameras to see you sleeping. I'm like, well, you're the one who told me to sleep right there in my cab. And that was the first time of me, living in your car, but it only lasted for like 1 or 2 nights. And then I drove by the Planet Fitness in Gretna off the expressway, on Stump Boulevard. I think that was Stump Boulevard in the expressway, by the Academy. It was right behind the Academy. So it wasn't on Stump Boulevard, but it was close there or somewhere around. I'm like right near the Rouses and everything. So, that was the only place, 24-hour that I can go. And the guy, he was really nice and let me, use the bathroom and stuff, But then they had this narcissistic other black guy who was rude as fuck and would not let me use the bathroom. And that was after a while. And that was the Planet Fitness that they were nice enough to let me take showers. But then the new guy named Mike or something like that, the new guy who took over, and it was probably part of the gang stalking, and I didn't know it, but I was kind of bitter for a while and was getting mad and calling him Planet Shitness. So, Planet Shitness, I mean, at first they were letting me take a shower every day for I went off to the Grand Canyon and went to LA after being homeless for a while, and then, because that biracial guy at the Treme Center, he gave me a hard time, and that was the only time I saw him, and he was a perp and ran me off from trying to take a shower and stuff. So, other homeless people were allowed to go and take a shower, and they didn't have to swim, but he was there to make the damn rules. And how the hell is he the big boss? And he was just a one-time perp. I never saw that guy did that to me and ran me off, and I never saw him again. And him being like extra tall, but he was like 19 years old or something. I knew he was very young and acting like he think he had such high power and authority over me. And again, being a couple of years ago, I'm old enough to be your mother. So, and then dealing with Pensacola State College campus, they made it like as if I have to be swimming. Even if I paid to that, she think that I have to, shower that I can't take long like other women, that because I'm homeless, the special rule for me, I mean, I'm like, well, what if I never told you I was homeless? But I mean, I was desperate for a shower one day because I haven't had a shower in a whole week. And then after she did what she did, and I was paying, I went to both, bouncing back and forth between PSC and UWF to go swim and shower. So my hair is damaged again. Not from swimming, but because of hand sanitizer and alcohol. And it's like I'm trying to avoid cutting it, but it's ruined. Um, so, but I mean, I didn't want to get my hair ruined, and so that's why I didn't want to swim. But as much as I love swimming, but I didn't want to get my hair ruined. So the lady at PSC campus, her name was Kay Miller. She was very elderly, and she acted like she was a damn lesbian herself. And she was probably in the occult and a witch and doing stuff like rituals. And so she was probably projecting her wicked deeds onto me. Because when I was at the Treme Center in New Orleans, I think I talked about this on my other channel before. But when I was at the Treme Center, that young mixed race looking kid who ran me out of there when I tried to take a shower. And then they had other older black men. They were probably Masonic too. And I didn't realize Treme Center, that area by North Claiborne, and can't you believe I forgot the name of some of those streets? Oh, dog, I can't think of the name of the streets. But it's a few blocks away from Canal Street. And so Treme Center, they have a Masonic lodge very close by, and some Masonic barber haircutting businesses and just Masonic businesses, and it's a Masonic area. But shucks, that was all I knew where to go, and I didn't have the money. By me being a UNO, University of New Orleans alumni, I didn't have. I mean, I had enough the money to be eating every day, but I think they said it would have costed $417 for a semester membership at their rec center where I can take showers and exercise and do stuff, swim or do whatever anytime I wanted, But I didn't have me being homeless on the street, I didn't have the money for that. But there would be, that the police knew about and let me live on a campus, for 6 months. And they waited till a ritual day. Some of the cops wanted to help me and felt bad that they couldn't. The UNO police, they got compromised, and they really wanted to help me, and then they got compromised, and then they started acting like perps. And then they didn't have problems with the dirty homeless Bradley guy who was never a UNO student. And he lied and said he was a student. And when I was asking him questions, he would try to avoid certain questions I was asking. And, him just being very dirty and making me feel uncomfortable. And he had that damn dog. And it's like, I'm a freaking alumni and he's just a random nobody. How the hell is he more welcome here than me? And he would, because I caught another person. I'm like, damn, I don't hang with the homeless clique. I try to keep that a secret. I didn't tell them. I'm wondering, how the hell did other homeless know where I was at? And how the hell did they know to come sleep on the campus too? And so, damn, you hear that boom car noise, loud bass. So, I felt disappointed and betrayed. Now, if y'all, were okay with it and knew about it for 6 months, because I mean, when I showed them my alumni ID and explained my situation, before I realized for sure that I was targeted, I didn't mention anything about gang stalking or being targeted. But I tried to find something, some solution. I couldn't find anything. They made an excuse to stop me from going to that hostel. I mean, staying at that hostel, and um, that hostel was $100 a week, and then they had that narcissistic perp also named Mike there, and the roommates were perps, and I mean, and then they had that roommate that her name was Lorraine, and she acted like a narcissistic control freak fake friend who acted like she thought she had the authority to try to forcefully order me to go to Planet Fitness. And even if I paid, well, she's like, you cannot go to Anytime Fitness just to use the bathroom. You cannot. Like, who the hell are you? You're just a freaking hostile roommate. You don't have that authority to order right to tell me, you know, you don't have that authority or the right to tell me where I can use the bathroom at. I mean, especially if I pay a membership at Anytime Fitness, which I could not afford and I was not due because I don't want to be locked in contracts. But I was, trying to stay safe, Harris 24 hours, me trying to charge my phone or use the bathroom and stuff like that. And then, black people that worked at Harris, they kicked me out without explanation. And it was right after our birthday. And so they try to say you have to be gambling. I'm like, but I don't, I mean, but I eat at the businesses there. I mean, I would eat at whatever restaurant and just get the little small couple of dollar red beans and rice. Is that not good enough? No, I have to be gambling. And they wanted me to be gambling and drinking. So the one time I did gamble in a long time in years, and I won $20 or something like that. And that was like the Sunday after our birthday. I think our birthday was on a Saturday. Then the next day was a Sunday. And I gave in and I just gambled. And then super early the next morning, I left out because Harris was too cold. And then I left out and then I came back in and I had to use the bathroom really bad. And they criminalized me and made it like I would be trespassing, and then they treated me very harsh. And black people, they refused to tell me what I did wrong or why was I kicked out. But I'm like, y'all not telling her, this other lady anything. This other lady was mentally out of her head, and I think she was homeless too. And she was shitting on the toilet and smoking in the bathroom. And then let her run free. I'm like, what the hell is this? I didn't realize that was part of the targeting as well. In any hotel downtown in New Orleans in 2018, when I try to go use the bathroom, they banned me. At first, they had a black female security, narcissistic perp security guard who would keep tabs and make sure that I'm not allowed to use the bathroom. At the DoubleTree Hotel. And, it seemed like you don't even have to be a guest, but more like during the daytime, the hotel guests are nice as hell and be giving you free water, free cookies and everything. So it's like, it's beautiful to get to have, oh man, if you ever have them fresh and hot, and they used to have them when I was in high school, fresh, hot, fresh, oh man, orally orgasm in your mouth, kind of great, Otis Spunkmeyer, oh, I noticed who that is. Whatever, it seemed like the next door neighbors, they're coming trafficking like in and out, walking. All right, so if they're doing that, okay. They trafficking in and out of their house or whatever. At first, I thought it was just random perps walking by trying to listen in or eavesdrop, but they just went inside the next door, but they keep, I guess, trafficking in and out, coming in and out or whatever. It's all right. But, I thought it was just, people, and people have done that, pacing back and forth and doing it very often while I'm either doing a video or on the phone. I guess they're doing that to distract me. You just went inside and then back outside. But I think they must be new because they had a white elderly, he was semi-elderly white military veteran. I think he was a disabled vet, and he was staying right here. And I guess he left out, and then the people left from white people who came from room, the other room over here, and then they transferred to over here. And her kid, I'm glad that they were quiet. And now it look like black people here, So I'm glad, it's fine, So I'm saying I'm glad everything is, quiet, So it's like I'm glad things have been mostly peaceful here, except one of the rooms right there, always noise and trouble. And those are the people who fiddle with the damn alarm, Yeah, I guess they must be new or recently checked in. But I'm glad it's been quiet. I'm glad it's been quiet. Sorry, let me stop doing that. But it's almost noon, and I'm glad I'm just talking to help pass the time, because then I got 4 more hours. And they made it like it's just an attorney that's I didn't know lawyers or attorneys can take you to jail or prison. I thought it was just police. It shows you how much I know. Such thing as a prosecuting attorney. But one thing, narcissistic abusers try to make you, they overly critical, and I did a video talking about how they overly critical and narcissistic abusers and perps. They have some remarks to say. If people tell me I should mind my business, and I'm not really nosy or meddlesome in other people's business, but if somebody is how the idea that the perps, when they cut the grass, if they cut the grass, wait after 9 p.m. and then put their debris all over my sleeping bag while I'm trying to go to sleep and have my earphones in, and then when I confront them about it, people tell me I should mind my business. Or if the perp's sitting there waiting and watching me, and I confront them like, why you gang stalking me? Oh, we're literally playing Pokemon. But then some narcissistic perp in the YouTube comments about that would be like, that you should mind your own business. I am minding my business. Tell those perps stop minding theirs, and you mind your business, because you're minding my business coming on my video on my channel. So but the perps can dissect and criticize every move, every minute moment in your life, and every move, everything you do and say gets heavily criticized, and I'm supposed to feel ashamed of every second of my existence on the face of this earth. But you're not God, and you're wicked, and you don't have the authority or right to judge or condemn me. But if I judge and condemn you for being a perp, then you want to call me a self-righteous hypocrite, and then tell me, that fake T.I. perp Tony tried to tell me I should respect the gang stalker's hustle, and tell me, that's how some fake TI person. He ain't the only or first one who done something like that. Like, well, the perps, they gotta eat too, and well, I gotta eat, and y'all got a problem with that. I gotta eat. I gotta live. I have a right to stay safe and warm because it was cold as fuck last night. You know, so I don't even have those rights. I'm blocked from getting to work, as y'all saw. Me having to go to the hospital. Yeah, today I was supposed to be at that interview, probably walking out the door by now with the interview done. So, but I deserve to be deprived of all these things. I mean, I just wish I had more emotional support and more people to listen to me and validate me. Validate, and be supportive and comforting like they do to other people. Because the wicked person who's lying on me and slandering me get far more consolation and support than I do. While I just, it's like they want to pick sides and side with the wicked rather than somebody who's making failed attempts at trying to better their lives. And it ain't failure on my own part. It's failure that the perps being evil and purposely, blocking me from bettering myself. And they know what they're doing, and God sees it. But then narcissistic abusers tell you, the foster mom didn't exactly say those words, you'll never amount to anything. But she had many different ways of saying it without saying those exact same things. And even parents who've given birth to their kids, sometimes, the dad will tell their son, you will never amount to anything. You'll grow up to be a nobody. And the foster mom just hammering that into my head, making it like I'm going to grow up to be just such a loser in life. Well, all my attempts at, don't y'all know, when I was in high school, I wanted to get into honors and trying to, and they put me on more medication. And the foster mom was like, shut up about that bullshit about wanting to get into honors. Watch out, knock your teeth out. But then she bragged about graduating magna summa cum laude from SUNO after, bitch, you after you become elderly and you're supposed to be smart like that. Your ass is old. But she wasn't perfect. She claimed she went to Xavier University or Xavier back in the 60s and flunked out. So, and then I heard she was, taking care of her kids and she was married and stuff. But if she was a foster parent, but what parent or guardian, and guess what? They said the foster mom wasn't even our guardian. The state was our guardian. So, what kind of loving mother would tell their child, it seemed like people, we were foster, but my twin sister told me that John from the Candy Grandpre family, was the one who told her that the foster mom secretly adopted us, or that they, I don't remember how she said it, that we were secretly adopted or adopted in a way where the foster mom can still be getting money, because the foster mom tried to use some other excuse. Because, when we were 9 years old in 4th grade, shortly after the foster dad, Al, passed away, we were supposed to get adopted in July. And I was all excited, like, yay, we're getting adopted in July. We're getting adopted. And so, come to find out, the adoption didn't go through. And then, I heard something about, the foster mom would not get money. She would not continue getting money for us if she adopted us. But nowadays, I read that you can adopt kids and still get like bonuses and get paid. So, and silly me, I had a mild dream. I mean, a mild desire, dream as in desire, not sleep kind of dream. But I had a mild desire that, I thought I wanted to, be a foster parent and also have my own biological kids and be a foster parent as well. And, you know, but I did not realize that that you had to, take a deal with the devil in order to become a foster parent. And, the foster parents front and lie and say that they don't make that much money. And people like, girl, don't listen to that. That foster mom getting rich off of y'all. She had a big house. The foster mom would never have to taste homelessness, and she will look down on you if you're homeless. Um, the Kraft family never have to. They're black people who never have to taste homelessness, but they'll look down on homeless, and they think they're too good to have to take the transit bus, mass transit, public transportation. You know, they're too good for anything because they're Masonic sellouts. So that's how the foster mom was. If you're financially struggling or you're poor, then you're a bad person. But then any attempt at my own independence and success, I mean, the foster mom thought that me wanting to be a doctor was crazy talk. For me to want to be a Spanish translator was crazy talk. Anything good I wanted to do was crazy talk. Or anything. And then my twin sister, and I'm going to say, yeah, my twin sister ended up studying the foster mom, how she treated me, and then went on to basically carry that on. And now it's like my twin sister cloned the foster mom's personality and a mixture of a few other abusive people in our life. It's like she mixed their personalities together and put them all in one pot and then cloned it and then made it her own personality. I mean, she even has certain traits in certain ways, like the foster mom's son, the foster brother Joe, and a couple of other people, like as if you, in a biological gay brother Mark too, he has certain mannerisms and certain way of saying things, like the foster sister Shelley and the foster cousin Mildred. And Mark and Mildred used to be close like this when we were younger. And so by him being gay, he haven't seen Mildred in a long time. But I say that he, I don't even know if he's trying to act like her, but certain mannerisms and the way they say things and their attitude or whatever, cocky, their attitude, them being narcissistic abusers, they act similar. So it seemed like this freaking spirit. Like it seemed like as if all narcissistic abusers have this. Well, not all, a lot of them overt or narcissistic abusers who ain't friendly, because I'm still studying and learning more about this targeting and mind control and narcissistic abuse myself. They hit me in the back of the head right here with the energy weapons, and now starting to hit me right here. But seem like as if narcissistic personalities are freaking cloned together like a freaking hard drive or something. So I don't know. Sorry, I'm fighting out unwanted intrusive thoughts. So yeah, I mean, because they have people who would be like in Los Angeles, California, and they would have personality that re-traumatized me all over again, because it reminded me so reminiscent of with the foster mom herself. So, or if I might be in somewhere in New York or Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or Denton, Texas, or wherever I used to be, but I didn't realize that was part of the gang stalking, that if I move into a place and I'm living somewhere, they will have a neighbor who set themselves up to have so much high power and authority over me and act like they got control over my life decisions when you're just a next door neighbor. and I didn't realize that they were a narcissistic abuser slash perp. Because who the hell is your next door neighbor to tell you that you don't have a right, basically, to go to your own hometown and go visit family, or even a friend, if you just want to, who are you? What authority? You don't have that power and authority to tell me that. Because if you want to go to Jamaica, ain't nobody going to stop you. So, I just wish people would take me more seriously about my cries, me crying out, about my traumas and my setbacks in life. I mean, if a narcissistic abuser or a gang stalking perp was staged for you to fail at something in life, that they set up and staged it, and then they themselves blame you for your failure that they caused or set up or manipulated or put you in a corner and trap you, and that way, in a way that you got no choice but to be a failure, a forced failure against your will. Because if I wasn't held back mentally with being, drugged on psych medications, and other people with no authority controlling my decisions in life, I could have been what I really want to be in life. And you know what? Nowadays, I love languages, but I even gave up on that. I seriously did. I seriously gave up on languages, and because I was interested in more than just Spanish as well. Because I can't tell you not one Italian word. Maybe buongiorno, however you pronounce it. But from that, or DiGiorno or something. I think that pizza box. But people look at me like, shame on you for not knowing French because I'm from New Orleans. Newsflash, hardly anybody in New Orleans speaks French anymore. Why you chose Spanish? Why not French? You're from New Orleans anyway. Well, I did try to learn French as well. Can't do it. I was told to master Spanish first and then go back and do French. I tried to take French in college as well. I was taking French and Spanish at the same time when I was going to Nichols when I had to withdraw. I had to take French and Spanish. No, I didn't have to take French, but I was taking French and Spanish by choice. I'm sorry, that didn't come out right. But I took French and Spanish. And I, had interest in wanting to learn Japanese. And I forgot how to say my own name in Japanese. But there's katanka and kanji. Because that was a point in time I wanted to learn, of course, Spanish, French, Italian, Japanese, and I did learn a little bit Japanese. And I think, was I going to UNO? And they had that Rosetta Stone after school, and I guess I was in a computer lab or something. And Japanese, certain words sound kind of like Spanish anyway, Japanese. But the grammar rules in French and Spanish are kind of similar. And I try to learn some Italian, but it seemed like Italians, but nobody really speaks Italian around here, but here in Pensacola, hardly anybody Spanish. I don't like the atmosphere. I don't like the people of Miami. I just don't like Miami, but I love I love Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, and Aldi, and I love those mango trees, the banana trees, the coconut trees. Oh, did I say mango? Mango, coconut, banana, planting trees. It was amazing. Purple mangoes. I ain't never in my life seen purple mangoes before until I got there. So, um, then you can eat it straight from the tree. And I didn't realize that when I left Janet's house, I accidentally left that bag of mangoes, and I was forced to leave behind a lot of food. The fact that, I mean, I mentioned on my other channel about her, perping me, and then wait. I mean, thought she was too good to go to the food bank, and then self-righteously go spend money at Publix later on. When I would try to tell her, Janet, there's free food at the food bank at 9 o'clock, but you gotta waste your gas waiting in the car for 3 hours for that free food. And homeless people who have a buggy like me, or walking or taking the bus, or you gotta take a cab, we were turned away. And then plus, if you're homeless on the street and stuff, the frozen tilapia or frozen codfish, I mean, you have no use for it if you gotta live on the street. And it's mainly food you gotta cook. And they had a lot of raw vegetables and stuff that they were giving out too, like a lot of squash and eggplant, tomatoes. Janet just let all that food go bad and didn't care, but I ate as much as I could. And it was the closest to living at home or my own place that I was able to get. But I respected the fact that when I was living with Janet, she let me be myself. She didn't try to control me or anything like that, but she was perping me. And her 8-year-old son was, trained from a young age to disrespect older women, and Janet wouldn't put him in his place. Like, she was too scared to. And I'm not talking about whipping him. Even if it's verbally, Janet just let him do it. And he was a big 8-year-old. And it shows you how kids grow so fast. He was 8 years old, and, he was like pretty, much shorter. And then pretty much he went by his dad for a couple of days for the weekend. I kid y'all not. And then he's this tall now. And I'm like, wait a minute, weren't you just down here 2 days ago? And now you my height, just about my height, almost my height, within 2 days, and you were just this short? I didn't know kids grow that fast. But seriously though, he was way shorter than me, and then like, wow, so he was a big 8-year-old, and then Janet was almost 6 feet tall her damn self, so for him to be a big, huge 8-year-old, I mean, that boy, was spoiled and had a temper. And, they say that, if certain kids who are like that, who are spoiled and bratty, they be the type of people who be, by the time they're 19 or 20, do stuff like kill their mom and stuff, kill their parents. But that boy was not being taught any discipline or how to respect people or anything like that, because when I first met him, the first 5 days, he was like, do you want anything? Do you need help with anything? Whatever, So what happened from do you need anything, or can I help you with anything, to rolling his eyes at me, smacking his food on purpose just to make me mad, and then giving me the evil eye and like try to control where I should look. And then Janet was even at one point trying to make it like as if, he had a right to tell me what to do, pretty much, And she wasn't stopping him from disrespecting me and bullying me. And she wanted me to babysit him. I didn't know he was going to be like that, But Janet had him on medication too, but then she said she took him off of it. And, with her believing that he has ADHD and stuff like that, But that boy was 8 years old bullying women in their 30s, and she, his own mom and me. And, the mom, Janet, refused to, give him correction. And the narcissistic dad would poison the boy's head against his mom, and make him disrespect his mom and stuff. Y'all know how it goes. So yeah, I'm talking to help pass the time because I'm feeling really nervous. Now I got 3.5 hours, and I'm feeling panicky. And as I said, after I'm done this video, I'm gonna eat and then take a shower. And I'm just, you pay a therapist. I pay a therapist. Not no more, but used to pay a mental health therapist, and you get only a limited time that you can talk once a week about all that you've been through. I didn't realize that. I wouldn't say that what I went through was all out satanic ritual abuse, but what I went through was ritual abuse, and some people call it. Some people say it's MK Ultra programming, and other people say it's not. Because whatever ritual abuse and witchcraft and that cult and everything like that, I still, have more to learn. And so, I just, me sharing, and the whole world ain't listening, so stop saying that. I only have a select amount of viewers and stuff like that, so the whole world ain't listening to me. But I heard stories about some targeted individuals say that they have people all the way from Russia tracking and gang stalking them and stuff, that they're being tracked by people in Russia. And all the technological and technical stuff, I feel like I have a hard with my reading comprehension. I have difficult time trying to understand, the technical stuff, or more like the technical or technological harassment and stuff. I'm pretty slow at that, but I still have more to learn about the physical gang stalking tactics. That they might have more tactics that I'm still not aware of. But I wish I could find that website that said that targeted individuals have a right to drive a car, and that when you cause that TI to be sleep deprived and they get into a car accident, it's the gang stalkers, not the TI, the gang stalkers who have blood on their hands. Stop sleep depriving me. Allow me to be functional. And then, you can't even be, they want to force you and make you be disabled so that other people can control and handle you. Now you're not allowed. They'll make it like they will do evil stuff on purpose to make it like as if you're not fit to make your own decisions. But yet you want to hold me responsible for this so-called crime or this so-called wrongdoing. If you want to take me to court and sue me, you will hold me responsible. But you think I'm not mentally capacitated to drive a car, or you think that I'm too, I've been paying my own bills and stuff. But if you think I'm too retarded to go up to the office and pay for more nights at the hotel, if you think I'm that slow and I have a college degree, and then it's like they'll call me crazy, but then like the foster mom would be like, well, Candy, let me tell you something. You ain't crazy. You got plenty of sense. You just play crazy. Or but then she'd be like, Candy, because everybody knows that your ass is crazy. You know, and so she would tell you. I mean, I already told y'all about how she said I would, gonna grow up to be a prostitute. I'm gonna grow up to be that. And she showed me a picture in one of her psychology textbooks. It seemed like she waited till my sophomore year in high school to go back to Suno. Well, actually, I was in ninth, going on 10th grade. And after the situation with Lanika, and then the foster grandma dying, and all that situation was when the psychological games. I mean, the foster mom used to be more physically abusive, but the psych games didn't really start. I mean, actually, the foster stepdad been playing psych games from when we were 12 and 13 years old. He was the one playing, psych games. But then she took up psychology when we were in our sophomore year in high school. She went to SUNO, Southern University of New Orleans, and took up psychology, and used that to she used that to play all kinds of psychological games. And then, because the foster stepdad, he used to be the one telling us, we're gonna wind up dead, or we're gonna have this happen to us, or we deserve to get killed. And then later on, she started saying it. Like, that's room 509 with the noise. Shut up. I've been getting that more often. Boom, 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 boom. Boom car noise is what you call it. So, but you think I'm too crazy or too mentally incompetent to know how to run my own business, and you block that and try to stop it when you have no authority, but you got the power to do it, but you don't have the authority or the right. And then you don't have the authority or the right to do that. And then but then you I mean, you don't have the authority or the right to do that, but then you think that I should be mentally competent to stand trial in court and be held accountable or responsible with whatever I'm accused of. Or you think that I should be held accountable to go to jail or something like that, or get arrested and, own up to whatever punishment, even if somebody falsely accused me of something. Because I don't be trying to break the law or try to go around doing wrong or anything like that, because I could have been in jail or prison, but I try to do the right thing, and I try to be as best as I can law abiding. So, just like, as I said, I didn't tell the police, about the gang stalking and the, certain things to do dealing with gang stalking. I left that part out because of the idea that me being warned that they would lock me up. And like some targeted individuals, their rights are totally taken away in court order to see a psychiatrist and take medicine. And all their freedoms and rights are forfeited. And my heart goes out to those people. So, I'm not court ordered to see a psychiatrist and take medicine, but I couldn't, I didn't know how to tell the story without avoiding, talking about targeting, so I just didn't mention any of that. But, the fact is, she freaking assaulted me, and, if she went to bother my sleep spot, and then, I told her about it, and then she left, and I left, and I went to put my stuff up because I had to use the bathroom really bad. Then I came back, and she was there bothering my spot again. And, I didn't want me having OCD, see, the mental problem, OCD, I didn't want to feel uncomfortable. I didn't want to feel uncomfortable for me to, sleep there. And she walked all over it. and she's dirty, you know. So, I mean, I was, traumatized and, feeling like freaked out when those people who waited till after 9 o'clock at night to cut grass, and then they put the dirty ass debris all over me. I freaking had a meltdown, freaked out, So, um, I had to leave out the gang stalking aspect of how, the beating began. But they see some fake TI perps lie and say that the gang stalkers are there that just to aggravate you, they're just there to get on your nerves. But they've had moments where a perp would even assault a TI for no reason, unprovoked. So I've heard stories like that, and I've had it happen to me as well. Or so they're lying. And I've had attempts on my life with vehicles, with people who look too innocent to be a criminal. But I'm like, how the hell are you an 85-year-old old ass white lady acting like you're trying to deliberately hit me with your car, strike me with your car? And damn, if I was homeless still back on the streets, in which I'm still considered homeless because I don't have a permanent or definite address. Because if I don't, by Wednesday, if no more nights paid up, back on the streets. If I haven't found a solution to any Craigslist, maybe I should try again. I don't know, but I have the ad put up there, and everybody got their stimulus checks. But the money that I have right now is not enough for me to get a car or a vehicle. It's not enough. So it's just enough for it's just enough for like I'll say it's not even enough for me to stay here a whole 30 more days. And factoring in the fact of me having to have food and laundry. So I know it's not enough for me to stay here for 30 more days. Definitely 15, and probably, if I'm lucky, 20. But no, not a whole 30 more days. So, people would act like even with the past stimulus check, well, what happened to your stimulus check? I'm like, well, it's freaking August. Why are you asking me, that money? Even other people be like, well, that $1,200 is gone. Some people saying right now that their $600 is gone right now because they're saying that their $600 is gone, So my stimulus check is only, with that extra $600, it's just enough for more nights. $600, let's see. That's enough for 15 nights here. 15 nights here is about almost $600 to stay here. So that's all my stimulus could go to. And that's 15 nights alone with no food. And the rest of my SSI and Social Security money, will be used for food. But hey, I'll be able to stretch some food, but I can't go to the food banks or food pantries because it's set up to where you have to ride by in your car. So I can't go to the food banks. And imagine if I'm sitting in 3 hours and I got a cab and that meter is running, that takes up money. I might as well go buy my own groceries. For real, serious. So, dealing with that Mary lady who beat me up, yeah, she's like, bitch, I beat your fat ass again. So if you say something like that, you got a conscience. You know what you're doing. So you ain't crazy. If you talk like that, but she was crying out to her false god Jehovah, screaming Jesus and Jehovah. And I'm like, how the hell, if you believe in that stuff, and she usually stay off to herself and don't bother nobody, but she'll just try to make these little cards or whatever and give it to people. She doesn't pass out Jehovah's Witness Watchtower tracts, but I guess she believes in them. But that's why I figured she had to have been demon possessed. I mean, because usually she's never, and I'm not saying she's not allowed to be in that area, but she's never in that area. And she never perked me before, never bothered me, never did me anything. And, you know, she gave me one of those cards, and I didn't realize she was part of fake Jehovah's Witness till after a while. And that thing was lingering in my storage unit for a long time. And then, I got rid of it. But it's like they had the false rumor floating around the homeless community that I'm the one who beat her up. Well, me wrestling for my own phone is beating her up. If that's what you call beating her up, then I don't know what the hell to say. Because I didn't throw not one strike. Me just trying to not break the law. Because, I mean, they would look at it as me and her would both go to jail if I would have fought back. And that's why that's why I, felt scared to defend myself. Plus, I wouldn't have won anyway. But I think that the beating would have got worse. And then if that man would have saw, and it's as if it's like me fighting her back, he would have looked at it like as if we're fighting, But he clearly saw, her assaulting me and beating me and attacking me, and me being fearful, scared to defend myself because of me being scared of going to jail too. Because even the police would have looked at it as fighting. Even if you fight back in self-defense, they make it like you got to go to jail too. So I've had moments where other homeless people have stolen my sleep spot or my comfort spot, and that they were perps. And, it's like, where the hell am I? I'm like, damn, they want to taint every spot and make it dirty. But, me not having a shelter to be under in the rain, they ruined that too. And where I can't feel comfortable because they're dirty. But, the outdoor spot that I was at least the rain can wash everything. The warm weather and the rain can wash that spot off. The sunshine and the rain. But I mean, sometime after the beating, after October, and they had Hurricane Zeta and Delta and all that, and I had to come back here, and for them to be much hurricanes and stuff, there was not much rain. So me looking at the news and them saying dry conditions will continue, and if I felt punished because I felt like, damn, can it rain again, rain hard, so that the rain can wash away the filth and the dirt. Me and my weird ass OCD. I don't know how to be different or think different or wire my mind differently. Because of the trauma that I've been through. Being 3 years old and forced to eat out of the garbage can. And being forced to be cleanup slaves. And then, the foster mom telling me I should have left your nasty, filthy, dirty babies where I found you. And stuff like that. So, I don't know how to, only by prayer, but it ain't going to come overnight, Because I know people say OCD is, fear and lack of faith. And I know that is, me being afraid of, the fact, also me being afraid of being traumatized, by the fact that all my stuff got stolen in 2018. That's another reason why I'm overprotective of my sleep spot. But she went back over there again after I told her, this is, my little spot, my little area. I don't bother anybody but me, because I had this fear that you know, if she'll come there more than once that day, and then I'll try to be there that night, then she will come bother me that night when I'm there and do me something. She could have done me anything. Worse, she was trying to kill me. She wasn't trying to just beat me up. She was trying to kill me. But whatever she got. And if she had a knife, she would have used it. She would have stabbed me. If she had a gun, she would have shot me. She would have done whatever. She would have took me out. And she was unstoppable. And even after the guy, got her away from me, and then he walked off, and she was still trying to come at me. And that's when I had to freaking call the police. Because she was unstoppable. So, and I've had other, deranged homeless people, they just walk by my spot on purpose, because I guess handlers tell them, like, how they say when people prostitute, it's like the freaking gang stalkers are the prostitutes, because there's a pimp or a handler sitting there waiting and watching everything the prostitute does, and wants to ensure and make sure that the prostitute gets in the car with the guy, and it's like the handler waiting and directing the gang stalker what to do. And then it's like the freaking gang stalkers are the damn prostitutes. They're the ones prostituting for money, but they're perpstituting, if you get what I mean. Perpstituting. So it's like, I've had it on video about the handler that dropped the deranged homeless perp off near my rainy day sleep spot, which is the building next over. And people might be like, well, why you don't sleep there, rains or shine or whatever? Well, because they have a light that comes on. And, as I said, I was overprotective and, didn't want to have to re-experience that all over again about people stealing my stuff or stealing my valuables. Because in Los Angeles, I never in my life had anybody steal everything. Everything. And the police didn't care, And so the idea that you stole my laptop, my phone, I had very little money. You stole all my cards. You stole my Medicaid, my Medicare card, my driver's license, my debit card, whatever other important cards, homeless ID, just everything. You just took, and everything I had except left behind a few outfits and the buggy itself. So, it's like, y'all know that the handlers go and tell the perps to, go mess with my sleep spot, or go harass me, or go do this, or go stand there and watch me, or to have me hit with energy weapons, and then them monitor and watch me while I'm uncontrollably and involuntarily defecating from what they forced me to do. The forced diarrhea. And then the fact that I'm a single female and a man is there to watch me at 3 o'clock in the morning when there's really nowhere else I can go. Can't you go somewhere else? No. Because if I had somewhere else to go, I would go somewhere else. Because the other potty spot that I had further downtown, I was new there, and that was my potty spot. And then what happened was, it had to have been gang stalkers that waited till, I thought nobody was there. And then it's like, damn, I gotta go pee, but I can't because this man is sleeping, pretending like he's sleeping. And I knew that was a perp. That I'm like, damn, I gotta go pee so bad. And I'm like, I can't because he's right there parked and pretending like he's sleeping in the back seat and stuff. And I've had creepy, weird stuff go on. And I can't, I mean, I definitely wouldn't be taken seriously if I report, like, just like I film everything and put up on YouTube. What if I was reporting all those people, reporting everybody to the police? This person doing, and then it look like as if I'm a tattletale. But I think I told y'all about the time when I was sleeping on the streets at when I was sleeping by the abandoned bank before it became the restaurant. And I was sleeping, and well, actually no, I was actually awake but trying to go to sleep, you know. And there was a white man who came standing over me, and he wasn't homeless. But why are you bothering me? What are you doing? Like, leave, stay. But I don't know if what he was gonna do to me. If he was gonna drug and rape me, I don't know what he was gonna do to me. But people, it's no big deal to people. You know, people don't take that seriously. People's hearts are really wax cold. Nobody cares. And they think they're doing the right thing by not caring. I don't know if that man was going to abduct me, if he was going to drug and rape me, or if he was going to kill me. And he was a white man. I don't know what he was going to do to me. And I felt a presence standing over me. And then I was like, you know, something told me to look, and it was a white man. And then he walked off, and he looked like one of the rich, proper white people. You know, so there would be times, ow, bastards. See, now they're trying to make my chest hurt again. That's the energy weapons. So, it's frightening that nobody cares, and I'm pretty sure others going to, because, you know, what if they're, you know, a single white homeless female going through the same thing I'm going through, or a single Hispanic, Asian, or any other race, single female. The fact that, you know, that we consider vulnerable and unprotected and nobody's caring, to be stalked and harassed by, well, males and females, but a lot of men, white men, harassing and stalking a young black female. And nobody, and nobody cares. Alex is untouchable. Alex Dupree, he's untouchable. But what goes on in my life is not your business, Alex. Leave me alone. So, you know, I don't know you at all. All I know is from you, you're an old white man who harasses me, and you freaking told me that you're a Jesus-hating Satanist, and you act like you want me to. I mean, how many penises have you sucked, Alex? You know, in respect to your false god Satan, who you think is your Lord and Savior. Exercise your right to serve Satan elsewhere, but don't put your Satan worship on destroying me. You don't have a right to do that. But you're not my handler. Nobody's my handler. Jesus is my best friend and my Lord and Savior. Jesus Christ, the Lord Jesus Christ. So that's what I'm trying to get back into the Bible, more heavily than I used to. You know, trying to get closer, and me trying to, as best as I can, to try to obey Jesus's commands. And I used to be, you know, worship Jesus really hard, you know, a few years ago, and, you know, trying to change myself around. And I've been you know, Lisa Ruby got me back into wearing t-shirt and pants, because I try to play, you know, I tried to excuse me. I mean, Miss Lisa would want me to wear pants, but then force me to wear this thing around my head, a scarf around my head. You see, in the same way that um you know, in the same way that they force us to wear a mask, well, Miss Lisa forced me to wear a scarf over my head. And so and but then she would think it's okay to wear pants. Some of the Christian people or independent fundamental Baptists, they say that women wearing pants is a sin and is cross dressing, even if you got long hair. Because I heard they say that a real Christian woman will have long hair, and my hair has been damaged, I know, but I want to grow it back out. But they say that a real Christian woman will have long hair and wear their hair down, and that painting your face with a lot of makeup and lipstick. I heard that that's what witches do. Cake up a lot of makeup and put on heavy perfume in order to make themselves look better. So, like in the First Timothy chapter 4, I think, is it chapter 4? I know, or 5, or somewhere in First Timothy, they talk about women being, shamefaced and sobriety and not broidered, and stuff like that. So, not broidered in costly array or something like that. So the idea of going back to modesty and the times before nowadays, like there was a point in time I was trying to wear modest dresses and wear long pants. I'm sorry, long skirts, and had the desire but couldn't afford a modest swimsuit. And then, but then people holler legalism, you know. But the same people who holler legalism, y'all the ones who are, antinomianism or something. But the same people who call everybody else legalistic Christians, y'all being legalistic too. If y'all set, like the independent fundamental Baptists, they set all these rules for the Christian life, but then tell you that following these rules ain't enough to get you in heaven. That all you got to do is just believe and you'll go to heaven. But then if I'm like, y'all try to make things sound confusing, so I'm gonna leave y'all alone and just read the Bible for myself. So, and study to show myself approved, and trying to get back to being a Berean. And I've been having like strong urges to go back into listening to secular music again, but I guess I've been winning every day for a while. I don't want to relapse or backslide. And but it seemed like as if Miss Lisa and Miss Tracy, with their spiritual abuse, they nearly succeeded at killing my faith in Jesus Christ. Especially, why would you do that to me again if I've been in a cult and been abused already? But I guess resilience is the word. Still, standing strong and still fighting, because I never heard of a woman who elevates her website above God's word. Now you have to be a saved Christian her way, Miss Tracy Broadhurst. You have to be saved her way. That only saved people or people moving on to perfection can read her old landmarks website or to read her websites. How arrogant can you be? That you don't have to be saved in order to read the Bible, but the Bible is what teach you and help you how to get saved and to be born again. I was baptized in June 2014, and I don't remember the exact date it was, but I think it was the last week in June 2014. Um, and I mean, but I caught an ear infection the next day, you know, 'cause it was in a kiddie pool that I mean, and you know what? I wish I can get to. I mean, you can only be baptized once, but I wish I can re-experience that again. You know, but I'll never get to re-experience that again. But I feel like a failure Christian because me going back to sin even after that, the fact that I was supposed to forsake all my sins. But it seems like um this world system here in America, like the rules and laws of this world system, like as if you must sin, like as part of following their rules, their rules and laws. And the Bible says in Acts 5:29 that we ought to obey God rather than men. So if we ought to obey God rather than men, why do you think that you can be bigger than God with trying to force me to wear a mask? You know, so it's 12:56 right now p.m. Oh, now it's 12:57, and it's been 2 hours and 46 minutes that I've been talking. I'm feeling somewhat better, you know, and I have not eaten yet, and so I'm gonna go and eat and take a shower. And something I haven't done in a long time, I'm gonna comb my hair, or try to see if I can comb my hair out. This little bit of hair I got, try to comb it out and put some conditioner in it. Because if I was south like Miami, I can put coconut oil in my hair year round. Because it wouldn't clog up the drains and stuff like that. I don't think it would, you know. So here in Northwest Florida, Pensacola, if I would have used coconut oil in my hair, and last night, the drains would get clogged up and stuff, you know. So that's what I'm gonna do. Cause I mean, yeah, I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a while since I combed my hair. But believe it or not, I wash my hair twice every when I take a shower, every like just about. And I know they say that's not good, but well, me being homeless on the streets, well, not on the streets at the moment right now, but I still been, wash my hair twice every time I take a shower. I feel like I gotta, clean my whole body. People be nitpicky and, make remarks at me anyway. So, try to say, oh, you look like you don't brush your teeth and stuff like that. But, I guess me feeling like I would brush my teeth with, like lately, brush my teeth with just plain, warm or hot water. But whenever I can get back to my storage unit, I'm planning to go find my bentonite clay, and I can brush my teeth with that. But I have coconut oil, but I don't want to clog up the drains, and so that's why I'm not using the coconut oil. I thought about using baking soda, but the fear of the baking soda, um, the baking soda being like too harsh, or something like that. So that's why don't want to use the baking soda to brush my teeth. I mean, maybe I could use a small pinch and brush my teeth, but next time when I go to my storage unit, I'm gonna go find my clay, and I'm still too mentally I'm not mentally well rested enough to and then I got this thing held over my head with the cord. I'm not mentally I'm not well rested enough to go, because that's one of my plans and goals as well, to organize. And that's something I've been wanting to do since even when I was still in New Orleans, but the homeless lifestyle, you constantly running around, so I want to be able to clean and organize my storage unit. And I tried last year, around February of last year. I did try a little, but then I got raped in March, at the beginning of March, and then I just felt doomed, just felt beat. And then there's the fake COVID-19, that was also another setback too. So, um, but yeah, that's one of the things I want to do, get to clean and organize my storage unit. And because it's not dirty, it's just, you know, disorganized. And I want to be able to just get to know where to find things rather than spending hours trying to look for an important, necessary piece of paper, like my birth certificate or something like that, um, if I need it for, maybe housing or more job opportunities or something like that. But some people saying that their stimulus check is gone already. And so, hopefully, if today goes well, I would like to get back onto my ebooks, working on my ebooks and books, and I can relax. And I can relax on working on my ebooks, my books, and also I can work on organizing my storage unit and cleaning everything out. And me being here would be a good time for me to clean out and organize my storage unit, because then I can comfortably come back here, and I can conveniently go and take a shower. With my OCD, I can conveniently have here to go take a shower, like as if I'm home. So this was my temporary and indefinite home until the money runs out. And my plan is, well, I'm debating on whether or not to get a toaster oven and a blender. I don't know. That's just a thought, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna pursue it. But I gotta still, try to spend, like, even that Walmart is not even it's not cheap. It's more expensive than it used to be. The fact that $50 worth of food lasts you for 3 or 4, like every 3 or 4 days or 5 days, I gotta keep going back to the store. And they have this mini fridge. But if I have my own place where I can cook, then I can be having me some spaghetti and some pasta, and I can have some rice and beans, and that can stretch me longer. It can stretch me more rather than me have to buy just this small cup of rice for $1, and it comes in 2 packs, so it'll be like $2.20 something. And I can have more rice than that for $2 and can stretch me for a while. If I have my own permanent place to live, so I'm gonna try again. Maybe if I'm allowed to, update and renew the post on Craigslist, hoping and praying for God to open a door for a permanent place. That way I won't have to be spending time here. The idea that I can go and rent a mobile home for $475, but then the perps stop that too, and then they make it like as if another person got there before me, and it's just a perp sabotaging and holding me back. So they say that the perps ain't gonna let you have much or nothing, and then if they do allow you to have something, they set up shop for heavy gang stalking, like with jobs and housing and stuff like that, and dealing with community mobbing. But I'm telling you, that cottage was like the perfect place. So thanks for listening to me, y'all. You don't have to, but thanks for being dedicated enough to listen to me for 3 hours. and just me venting and talking, and it means a lot. Not like I'm doing a podcast or anything, but just personal talking, And thanks for being supportive, and thanks for listening to me. It means so much to me for even one supporter. I love y'all, and bye bye.